Alright, the Pick Your Pocket. Fly's been around a long time. Continues to be a top producer. Yeah, so here we go. I got a 30 millimeter Montana Fly Company shank here. You can do this on an aqua shank, it's fine. Just the original one was tied on a Waddington, and these are like the Waddington style hooks, except these ones are stainless steel, and Waddingtons were like a normal steel, and so these don't bend like the Waddingtons did. The Waddingtons were really soft, so actually this is a good hook. So, or I mean a good shank, probably a better shank. Hook already looped onto our intruder wire. I'm going to set the intruder wire through the eye, tie this in, give it a couple wraps, and then pull our length. And for whatever reason that's not working right, so I'll just do the old-fashioned way. So length, we're going to roll like an inch. Make sure everything's straight. Okay. And wrap our wire all the way up. Pull it down through the eye and wrap it back. And if I can find my little wire cutters here. Give her a trim. Alright, move the thread back up. Now's a good time to put on the eyes, so we'll flip her over. I'm just going to use the painted lead dumbbell eyes here. And I'm going to, on this one, just leave a little bit of room up front on this one. Not like a traditional intruder where we butt them right up to the eyes, because there's going to be some dubbing that goes in front of these eyes. So figure eight them on, wrap underneath, and that will secure them. Alright. Dubbing, you can use any dubbing. I'm just going to use some Senyo's. This is Senyo's Fusion Dub and Flame. I like the flash and stuff in it. I think the factory fly, they're tied out of Angora. So create a little bump here in the back. And then traditionally this the prop in this, and it's not really so much of a prop, it's just, I mean, this fly isn't like a fly that ever was known to like stay big, or even be like full of movement or anything like that. It's just kind of a bigger profile fly, but it's always worked really good. They don't move for, you know, compared to like traditional intruders at all, but they sure work. So. All right, bucktail. Got a little clump here, and you can clump it and tie it around, or you can spin it. I'm going to spin it. If you spin it on a dubbing loop, you will get more volume. Well, A, it'll go on more evenly, and then B, it'll stand up a little bit better. So throw this in a stacker. Create our dubbing loop here. See how these tips came out. Good enough. And I'm going to wax my thread on this one. This is working with bucktail and a dubbing loop. Wax is going to be pretty much required, and the spacing is going to be real important, because if you spin this, the bucktail is so slippery that it'll all just ride up the hook and clump. It's actually a pretty, it's a little difficult to spin and have it always work out right. So basically you're going to throw it in a dubbing loop, find your length, spread it out. So put my finger down here, I'm going to spread it out thin. If it's too thick, it won't spin. Come down and cut the butts. Even them out. And then spin it up. Bring them all back one direction. And then tie it off. Alright, so now, nice even color, and if it's sticking up too much for you, if you want just a little flatter profile, you can just pop it out and roll it with your fingers a little bit, and then pop it back in. And you can see the now it just kind of lays a little nicer. Alright. Next step is Amherst pheasant. We're going to do the same thing, dubbing loop. I'm going to go red on this one, add a little contrast. And then you don't actually need to wax these guys if you spread them out enough. Okay, give her a wrap. Tie off. Clip. then you can even like go through and just kind of spike everything out. And then if you wanted to, you could go through, and if you push these big fibers down, you can come in here and trim these butts. Okay, now for the spendy part. So this fly requires 8 hackle tips. So 4 in the back, 4 up front. And you're gonna make them 90 degrees each other. So here, here, there, there. So all of them. So you don't do 2 on top, 2 on bottom. You want them all staggered around the hook, or shank rather. Okay, and then we're just gonna take a little time here, and once you get a couple of them that are set, go ahead and just wrap them. Really, just lock them in at this point, because it's easy to like bump them around, and the body's getting covered with dubbing anyway, so it's not like we can hide whatever, like all this thread and stuff we can hide easily. So. But it's a little frustrating if you get the feather set how you like it, and then you bump it working on another feather. You kind of got to start all over. So once you get like the top 2 set, then just go ahead and lock them in, and then work on the bottom 2. Okay, now lock them all down. Bring them all back. We don't want these to fall out, so bring them all back. Like that. Okay. Rear's done. The body, it's just thin amount of the same dubbing. You could use, actually, if you wanted to, you could use Mylar. You could use pretty much anything. You know, the traditional pattern is just dubbing, so we'll just go with that. It would actually be kind of cool though to do. This fly would look actually pretty cool with like a hollow braid body or something like that. Alright, we've got, we're kind of up to the point where we're going to tie in all the next group of bucktail and everything, so I'm going to add a bump here of dubbing. Something a little bit more dense. And might as well just do the dubbing loop now. Again, get our bucktail ready. Something like that. Good. Actually, I gotta wax her up. can see the spread here. You can see through it. That's really important. Trim these butt ends. If you don't have sharp scissors, you will not have a good time with trimming that because it'll all fall out. Okay. Bucktail on. One more dubbing loop for the Amherst pheasant. Right, grab more pheasant. Dubbing loop it. Find your dubbing spinner. I'm going to spread this out. We got quite a bit of bucktail that found its way into this dubbing loop. So if that happens, just pull it back out. Okay, wrap it all up. Now for our second set of 4 hackle tips. So I'm going to take the first one, get a length, and I want it to be about halfway to the rear. So grab your length, strip it back, maybe a little bit longer than halfway, something like that, so you can see these two. So I'm going to take all 4 of them and pre-strip them. The easiest way to do that is I just do it one by one. Just match them up. Just pull the fibers off the side. And last one. So it doesn't take that long. And then repeat the same process up front as you did back here. them all back, lock them in. And just the head now. So you can run a dubbing loop for this, and I'll show you. It actually works pretty good because we're trying to get kind of like a long fibered fuzzy head. So I'm going to take the dubbing, and this is kind of a longer, not super long, but on the longer end, which is kind of what we want. Something like that. And then put on the dubbing loop. Spin her up. And then zigzag it across the eyes. Tie her off. And find your whip finisher, whip finish. And you're done. This is an orange, you can tie them in any color you want, but yeah, this is a pick your pocket. Thanks for watching.